Congratulations to Stanford. They played a heck of a game. They're a heck of a football team. And then we obviously have some things we got to get. We got to do better before we play them again on Friday night. So we'll get right back to work and look forward to playing them again.
So I figure after the first quarter, you're thinking that's time to pack it in and play it like a preseason game when you realize you can beat them?
I didn't hear the first part of your question. I'm sorry.
So first quarter, 7-7, and then you go in your NFL mode and play a preseason game, figuring that you'll get them next week?
No.
No?
No.
Why not, though?
Well, because we're competitors, TJ, and those guys in there don't spend all the time that they spend preparing for a game in the off season, during the week, the sacrifices they make to go out and not try their best to win every opportunity they get. So that's what they did. They tried their best to win, and we came up a little short.
Wouldn't you rather play Stanford than Oregon?
No, it didn't matter. We wanted to win this game today. That's our objective, was to win the game today, and we didn't do it. We came up short. But to insinuate that our players didn't give their best effort would not be
No, I'm insinuating you can arrange how the game is played. That's what I'm insinuating.
I've never in my life stepped on the field to compete and not given my best, nor will I ever.
You did that in preseason games in the NFL all the time, so
Those games didn't count.
Yeah, well, you know how to play a game so that you don't have to reveal things, and don't look around for help. I'm over here. You don't have to.
Well, you're making a statement. I don't know if is there a question in there somewhere.
What's wrong with the statement? You can comment on the statement.
I'll comment on a question.
I have a question for you.
Question, please.
Yeah. Just could you compare how much, I know obviously your players tried their hardest, but could you compare how fired up you thought they were in terms of approaching this game in comparison to SC?
We're pretty consistent in our approach each week. You know, I didn't see a whole lot of difference in our preparation. I didn't see a whole lot of difference in the way we approached the game before the game. We just came up against a really good football team who played well, and we didn't play as well as we can.
But would you say they were as emotionally into this game as they were the SC game? Because that would be tough. I mean,
yeah, I would.
Coach, what makes Stanford such a good team?
Well, they're very physical. They're big. They're experienced. They've been doing this for a long time. The same offense, the same defense. You know, they've been consistent in their schemes. They haven't had a lot of turnovers in their coaches. Yeah, they lost Coach Harbaugh, but they kept Coach Shaw. They run the ball well. They tackle well. They block well. They get off blocks well. They're just a good physical football team.
Coach, can you talk about what's to expect for next week in preparation for that game? Right here, Coach.
Excuse me?
Could you talk about preparation for next week?
Well,
what
we
did
practiced.
What did you learn from this game that'll help you for next week?
Well, once I look at the film, I'll be better able to answer that question for you. But you know, there's a lot to learn. I'm not going to get into too many specifics because I don't want to necessarily, you know, give them the thought that of what we're thinking in terms of what we need to improve.
Jim, did they show you anything differently? Did they show you anything differently offensively or defensively tonight that you perhaps maybe didn't expect?
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
Coach. I walked off the field with Coach Shaw and I asked him if he thought you held anything back for next week, and he said, no, I've known Jim and his family for years, and I don't believe he held anything back. Did you hold anything back for next week?
No. If we were holding something back, we wouldn't have had our starters in there at the end. We wouldn't have been trying to score. I wouldn't have used timeouts with 6 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. We're playing to win. That's what we do here. We're trying to create a culture about winning. Okay?
I don't mean not trying to
win. The way
win.
you try to win is you go for it every single time you step on the field, and if you don't do that, you cheat everybody. You cheat yourself, you cheat your players, you cheat your alumni, you cheat the students that support you, you cheat your fans, and we're trying not to do that. We're trying to be great.
Can you address what it's like? Because I assume you've never been in a position like this at any level where you play the same team twice in 6 days.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I'd make that assumption. I've been coaching over 600 games, so I'm sure there might be something in there somewhere. I don't know.
There's nothing better than developing a winning culture than going to a Rose Bowl. So your easier path to the Rose Bowl was Stanford.
Is that a question or a statement? I don't understand.
Do you agree
If
or
you're
dis-
asking me a question, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay.
If you're going to
Do you
make
agree or
statements, then make them.
So we can put it in first grade terms. Do you agree or disagree?
With what?
What I just said, going to the Rose Bowl, which is the
I hadn't
culture.
thought about it. What I had thought about is Stanford playing and beating Stanford. That's all we thought about. That was it. That was the end of the world for us. The universe dropped off after the Stanford game. That's all we wanted to do.
I'm just trying to figure out if you have a chance to beat Stanford, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you held things back.
Once again, is there a question? Is this a press conference where you ask questions? If you want to come up here, you can come up and take the mic, make all your statements. There's a seat here and there's a seat here. It'd be great. I'd love to have you up here.
Well, no, you wouldn't, but nice try.
Sure I would. You don't scare me.
Jill, go ahead, next, please.
I know Stanford's a good team, right over here, to your left,
Sorry, Coach.
to your left. I know Stanford's a good team, but you guys seem to revert to old ways, 12 penalties for 135 yards. How do you explain that?
Too many penalties, you know. Some were aggressive, some were lack of focus, some were not being technique sound. So a lot of different things, not anything specific.
But isn't that disappointing at this late stage of the season?
Yeah, it's disappointing, but we've got to get over it quickly because we've got a game on Friday night.
Coach, over here. Says much you've seen Brett look like a freshman, especially lately.
Brett was under a lot of pressure tonight, you know, so we've got to find a way to do a better job of protecting Brett.
Coach, talking about Brett tonight, a lot of sacks tonight. Were those coverage sacks, or was that the defensive line really just getting after him?
I think it's probably a combination. You know, they did a good job of pressuring. You know, with 4, they brought 5, they brought 6 sometimes. You know, sometimes we didn't get open. Sometimes he didn't find the open guy. You know, sometimes they beat us. I think it was a combination of all those things.
Is Simon Goins all right? And when he's not in there, how does that affect your protection?
Well, he's our starter, so when your starter's not in, you know, you're usually not as good. He'll be fine though.
Coach, back over here. What's the schedule going to be like for this week? It's a shorter week and now you have to travel. Can you address what your plans are?
Not specifically yet. I mean, we've got them, but I'd rather talk to the team about them before
Did you go up there Wednesday?
Like I said, I haven't thought about it.
Coach, the first half, the 2 fourth down punts from about the 40 or so, was that just because you liked the way your defense was playing at that point?
Well, the first one when Brett punted it
Yeah.
down to the 1, yeah, I mean, it was a little too far to go for it. And the second one, I thought our defense was playing well. It was 4th and about 4, 3.5 to 4. Didn't want to give them great field position. We had played better at that point on defense, so I wanted to try to pin them down there. And Jeff's been pretty good at pinning them down there.
Coach, I know without Thigpen in there, you didn't have as much experience with the kick return team. Was that, I mean, how disheartening was that play, especially when the fumble came out? Obviously, they ran that touchdown. Was that kind of the end of things? It seemed
Well, no, it wasn't the end of things. I mean, the end was when the clock struck 0, but it's tough when you have a turnover on special teams. You know, there's a high correlation to either winning or losing when you have a special teams turnover, especially when it goes for a touchdown. So we have to do a better job of blocking on our kickoff returns, and we've got to do a better job of securing the football.
Coach, there were a lot of big sets out there from Stanford where they're putting in 9 offensive linemen. Is there anything, obviously you guys run primarily a 3-4, is there anything schematically that you guys think you'll look at in putting more big guys out there?
Well, we did that today. Yeah, we put Ola in there today.
In the 4-3, is there any consideration of putting even more out there?
No, you can't do that unless you're committed to rush 5.
Any other questions?
Coach, what do you? The team was a lot sloppier than they've been lately. You've seen a lot of drop passes tonight. The fumble we just addressed. What do you attribute that to? Is it just something that just happens occasionally in a big game? They haven't looked this poor execution-wise in quite a while.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you hate to have that happen in a big game like this. I can't tell you exactly why right now. Got to do some, got to look at the film, got to go back and think about how we approach this thing. Was there something that was off a little bit, and try to get it corrected.
Hey, Coach, do you feel that you put your mark on this team, and if so, what is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that right now. I'm sorry. It's just kind of broad for me after a game to answer that question. I apologize.
And also with Jordan Zumwalt, can you talk about the season he's having this year?
Jordan?
Zumwalt.
Yeah, Jordan had to fight through You know, when he gashed his head, he's played some outside, he's played some inside. He looks a little more comfortable right now inside. We use him in nickel rusher. He's very versatile. He does a lot of things. We try to match him up on some of the tight ends today. He comes to practice every day and works hard, tries to get better. He's a good kid.
Coach, how does this team's mindset have to change, knowing, you know, what they just went through, and knowing another physical, you know, extremely physical type of battle is ahead in 6 days?
Well, I think it's important that, you know, because we're a day short in preparation. You know, I hate to, when you say get over it quick, I think sometimes that implies that you're trying to forget about it. We're not trying to forget about it. We want to learn from it. But we've got to get over the disappointment of the loss quickly and get on to preparation for Friday night. So that's what's important for us to do.
Do you think that handling winning the South and knowing that, you know, you guys had the South wrapped up and will be playing next week, do you think that was tough to handle for your team?
I didn't get that sense in spending the week with them. I did not get that sense, no. I didn't get that sense.
What was your message to them about why this next game would be different?
Excuse me?
What was your message to the team about why the next game would be different?
Did I say that I gave them a message? That it would be
Did you
different?
did you talk to them already?
Yeah, I've talked to them.
Okay, what was your message?
The messages that I give our team after the game are between myself and the team.
Final question.
Was playing a physical team like Stanford, was it tough to adjust at the beginning of the game, given how many spread teams you faced in recent weeks?
No, I think that'd be a bad excuse to use. You know, football's football. So, you know, even when you're playing a spread team, there's times when they get in tight formations. As you saw today, Stanford was not always in tight formations. I mean, they were 4 wides at times, or at least a 4-wide look. So we just had to tackle better, cover better, and rush the passer better, gap control better, and do all those things.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.